Welcome to A Plus Productions BAM Weekly. That's Boris and Matt Weekly, the show where we chat about what's happening in the world of sports. We're your hosts. I'm Boris. And for the first time in a long time, I am welcoming back my podcasting partner, Matt.
Bonjour! How's everybody doing out there? Boris, it's been a long time, but just like riding a bicycle, I'm sure we'll get right back in the swing of things. Me and my pal, Doris. Shit, I fucked up. Restart! That was the worst joke of my career. That's how you know we're back as sirens go nuts in the background of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. How you doing, big homie?
I'm doing good. Doing good. It's been a busy week, man. It's been a busy week. I think I picked one of the most chaotic weeks humanly possible to start and kick off a new venture, but that's okay. This summer has honestly been insanely busy. Typically for work and like my industry, you know, the summers are a bit of a lull. Not this year. It's been super busy, but it's been good. It's been keeping me honest. But I've still been hitting the streets. But no, honestly, man, it's been good. It's been very good. I'm happy. We're back doing our thing. How are you?
You went legitimate, trying to go legit out here?
I'm trying to go legit, eh?
Like a young Tony Blundetto, maybe, from The Sopranos. Yes, life is good, man. I'm excited to get back to it. So yeah, this is our first podcast in around a year. I think we don't need to go into a huge amount of details as to why, right? But yeah, man, it's good to be back. Good to be doing it once more. Yeah. I guess we're just going to be strictly talking sports on this feed from now on.
Yeah, so let's quickly talk about that. A Plus Productions. What in the blue hell is A Plus Productions? Well, it's a brainchild of a lot of creatives, right? That's what I'm saying. And in any show that being asked, like A Plus Productions is a brainchild of a bunch of talented creatives. Where does A Plus come from? Well, we're the motherfucking best. So we're the A Plus team. And, well, most of us are based in Canada, so it's, you know, it's that A, which I kind of love and hate all at the same time. But just like many relationships, we're going to go along with it.
See where it takes us, you know. Content, but A plus. That's us, baby.
It's more like meh. We're the meh team here.
Exactly.
But no, but like
meh plus, Boris. Meh plus.
Fuck. So let's talk about that real quick, right? So we are splitting up sports, entertainment, and wrestling, and you're going to be able to pick, as the listener, as the viewer, what you want to watch or listen to. You know, certain shows might be on all feeds, but most of the time they're going to be separated by entertainment, sports, and wrestling. The wrestling side is quite full. You know, on the sports side, you're going to be curating a lot of the sports. That's kind of going to be your brainchild, you know, along with some of the social media on the TikTok, as Bret Hart would call it, the TikTok.
Yes.
And then on the entertainment side, you know, so the Eighth Canon podcast is joining the production. So Phil and I are going to be doing our thing there. And then there's going to be other stuff happening. So like I said, you know, we're going to see how this works for now. We're going to assess, you know, we'll take it from there. Obviously, your input is greatly appreciated, and we'll see what happens, right? You know, we might have to launch a fourth feed that kind of curates everything for that, you know, for that person who wants it all, who needs to be a completionist. But
the full Doris, getting the full
gambit,
Doris,
as they like to call it, the full Boris experience.
I feel you, man. No, it's yeah. Well, again, like I do feel like a lot of podcasts make this mistake where they flood the feed with unrelated content, and we just didn't want to do that. Like, you're unrelated content. Yeah, like we could separate sports and wrestling, though that was kind of the gimmick, was we were the wrestling show that talked about sports, but we could still do that just on separate shows, baby. But it's yeah, I like this. I think this makes a lot of sense, and flooding the same feed with like unrelated content just kind of muddied it up. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is cleaner.
I've seen a lot of people, like networks, even like Rooster Teeth and things like that, right? Like there's a reason why the popularity of those major feeds went down. And it's just because, well, you know, people just, the shows you want to listen to get lost in the feed.
Exactly right. They just get buried. And then if you're getting 6 podcasts a day every time you refresh, eventually you're just going to be like, and not listening to 5 of them, and be like, whatever, like this isn't for me anymore. And that's
And
totally understandable. So we just wanted to kind of separate it, break you up, give you a grab bag. You can grab everything from every bag if you're nasty, and this is going to be mostly sports Thursdays, perhaps Thursday
Wednesdays,
night
Wednesdays,
during or
Wednesdays or
after the
Thursdays,
football game.
Wednesdays or
Wednesdays and
Thursdays.
Thursday-ish. Yeah, Wednesday-ish, Thursday-ish. We're going to see how we handle the football game on Thursday. Maybe we'll go before football game, preview the whole weekend of football, but then we kind of radio ourselves. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday for your weekend of sports. And yeah, it's great to see you, buddy. It's great to do this again.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll see. Ask me in a month.
Nah, I feel like, well, you didn't take a half of a year off. Like, I kind of quit the thing that we were doing because I wasn't really pleased with how it was going. You stuck it out much longer than I did, but
Yep.
yeah. So I'm hungrier right now to podcast than you are. I
Yeah.
feel like
I'm hungry, right? I took the summer off. I took my summer off. I had the summer
True.
of Boris. It was saw my nephews, saw my brothers, saw my friends, hung out with friends. It's been very weird seeing certain people as much as I'm seeing right now, right? It's been crazy, right? Like you even saw, like I haven't seen some of my friends in a long time. But yeah, it's been the summer of Boris. It has been very fun. It's been very good, and we're gonna see where this takes us. As you know, not you, Matt, but you, the listener. No, you're going to be hearing some familiar voices. You're going to be hearing some new voices. You're going to be hearing some voices you haven't heard in a long time, and there may be some surprises along the way.
Yeah, man, exactly. And this gives us a chance to kind of branch out too. We've been talking about doing a Sopranos podcast, maybe even just like we don't have to do 94 different episodes, but just like a deep dive into certain shows and movies that we like. And yeah, it's good stuff.
We should do
I think
a
this
whole
all worked out.
podcast series dedicated to Pine Barrens episode.
94 episodes of Pine Barrens, breaking
Yep.
down every single line.
Every single frame we can break down.
When's the last time you watched The Sopranos? Do you watch it every single
Funny that
year?
you say that. So I do watch. I do have a yearly, or once every 12 months, watch along of The Sopranos, and I just did it earlier this year.
That's great. So it's kind of fresh in your mind. I'm in the middle of one right now, trying to watch like 1 or 2 episodes a night with my roommate, and we're at like season 5. So it's right around the time when shit starts going down. I won't get too heavy into the spoilers right now, but I do think Sopranos is the best television show there has ever been.
Yeah, I think so too. I legit do think so. It's been, Sopranos is one of the shows that defined must-watch, cable TV, right? I think
Absolutely.
that other shows kind of defined it, like what is it? Oz? Oz, I think, was the first one who really defined that that HBO feel. But Sopranos was must watch. Sopranos was the show that after whatever date it aired, I guess on Sundays, so Mondays, people would gather at the water cooler and talk about who got offed or who banged who or how much gabagool Tony Soprano had the previous episode.
Gabagool, Capita. Yeah, man. In the culture now, the way it is, there's not really anything that is water cooler like that. So it's one of the last shows that was water cooler business. I feel like on Twitter and stuff was Game of Thrones was like in the Twitter era.
Breaking Bad.
It moved. Breaking Bad was kind of half and half.
Mhm.
It kind of like moved online, that sort of discourse. It's not better or worse necessarily, but yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Although I didn't watch it at the time, it was definitely, you can feel it in the culture. You'd see it on, parodied in SNL and Mad TV and stuff. Like you'd see it all over the place. I was definitely aware of it, and I'm glad I have not missed out on it. Do you want to talk some sports before we get out of here, buddy? We might as well. That is our given mission statement here. We might as well talk about something. Some of the things. Our beloved Toronto Blue Jays shit in the bed this year. What do you got?
I'm not.
What do you
shocked
say?
about
What do you
that.
hear?
I'm not really too shocked about that. This team just never. Honestly, I think that they put all of their eggs for one reason or another. I don't understand why. On the Shohei Ohtani basket, that it completely derailed all of their plans. Like I think that they put too much focus on that, and they didn't actually think about what if we don't get him. What are we gonna do next? But blunder after blunder after blunder it's been this season, right? Even the whole Joey Votto experiment. Dude, how much of a slap in the face was it to Joey Votto that the Cincinnati fucking Reds were in town? Your team that you've been vying to get on the lineup for has shit the bed and literally playing bat boys. Not literally, but figuratively playing bat boys on the field at this point, and they cannot just give you a couple games in the bigs against your team and to respectfully retire. That's the issue with the Toronto Blue Jays organization right now. But here's the thing. Ross Atkins and whatever the other fucker's name is, Atkins and Shapiro, they're not going anywhere. You know why they're not going anywhere? Because Rogers is making hand over fist dollars, right? Like that at the end of the day, they're just making so much freaking money that it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, and their vision, whatever it might be, Atkins and Shapiro, aligns perfect with what Ross. They revamp the arena. Yes, well, exactly. But like, how are they making money? You might say because that and the attendance is down. But through a lot of ways. One, trade off all the players who were making money this season because you're having a bit of a dip in the standings. Two, charge out the ass for tickets. Even the nosebleeds are pretty expensive nowadays, which is part of the reason why the stadium looks so empty on television this season. But understand. The Jays, it's so ironic because they signed all these old guys, and some of them played well a couple years ago. Like Justin Turner, it wasn't the worst idea, but he had nothing left in the tank. Kiermaier coming off of last season, you could expect him to maybe be a contributor at the MLB level. Looks like he has nothing left in the tank. Kevin Biggio, major league pitchers have figured him out. He wasn't helping out at all. Alek Manoah and Ricky Tiedemann are two supposedly like hot young pitching prospects that theoretically could both have been in the majors pitching well this season. Both need Tommy John surgery essentially, and they're out for months. Like it was like everything that possibly could have gone wrong did go wrong, but some of it was poor planning. And like you said, going all in on a guy, Ohtani, who realistically was never fucking coming here in a million years anyway, Boris.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
But when you go all in, man, sometimes you crap the fuck out. That's the way it goes, brother.
Yeah, that's literally how it goes. That's how she goes in the world of sports. But yeah, for those people who think that, Atkins and Shapiro are going to get the can, nah. You know when they're going to get the can? When attendance is actually down. And Matt, here's the thing about what you said about empty seats. They're empty because people aren't going to the games. They're not empty because the tickets haven't been purchased. Big difference between the two.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't know. You have to look at
the resellers versus Ticketmaster and seeing like we're about 85% capacity this year.
You have to look. Yeah,
I was looking at this, and that's I was looking at the average attendances, and we are down a little bit. You also have to figure that they did take away seats from the Skydome over the summer or over the winter, but season ticket holders aren't going to the games. That's what's happening.
Well, I can't imagine very many people are at. Right now, we are currently playing the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, your favorite
team.
The
California Angels.
Jays were winning at the time of this recording. I believe
they're going to lose
5-0.
in a couple hours.
Yeah, it's happened before. They were up like 6-0 on the Reds the other night and lost 11-6, I believe. Anyway, yeah, we don't have to make this a Toronto Blue Jays podcast, but I agree with everything you said. I think there are some encouraging signs. I like what I'm seeing from a couple of the young players, and they had to give them this chance. You might as well try it. Throw a couple noodles at the wall and see what sticks, Boris. I'm liking Ernie Clement. Seems like he's a sticky noodle. Spencer Horowitz started really, really hot. Will Wagner has started really, really hot. Spencer kind of cooled down. Will is still blazing. Vladimir Guerrero has been absolutely amazing, like MVP level since he cut his hair. Haircut Vlad is the best player in baseball, Boris.
Yep. Crazy how that works out. And Bo Bichette is crying in a corner somewhere.
Oh, I wonder what's wrong with Bo.
His best friend got traded. That's what's wrong.
Hug. Smoke a bong with him. What'd you say?
His best friend got traded. That's what happened.
Who's that? Lourdes?
No, Biggio.
Oh, true. Were they boys?
Oh yeah, they're boys. They're boys.
Bo to Dodgers. The Dodgers already got rid of Biggio, didn't they? Is Biggio in the majors yet again?
I have no idea, man. Honestly, I can't. I don't care about the look. Dodgers, yeah, great. I know what's gonna happen. Roberts is gonna fuck them up in the playoffs, so I don't even bother with the regular season anymore. I sound so bitter.
Yeah. It's fair enough. The Dodgers do underperform in the playoffs, but with this roster, with Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts when healthy, and all these players up and down the
Yep.
lineup, I do think they're still. If you
Mookie
had to power rank the baseball teams, you'd probably rank the Dodgers first. Still,
up there,
Mookie is so sick.
dude. Ever since he got back from the broken hand, man, he has been on fuego.
If you're unfamiliar with Mookie Betts and you've made it this far in the podcast, this guy was he a second baseman on Boston? One of the best in the league. They moved him to the outfield, just walked into right field, became the best right fielder in the league, which they say is the easiest outfield position to play. So they moved him, the Dodgers just did, to shortstop, which is the hardest position in all of baseball to play. Definitely the hardest position defensively. You're expected to do so much. And he just walked into that and was like, at worst, he was like a league average shortstop defensively. Pretty damn good. And he's still one of the great hitters in the game. So Mookie Betts is great. There's lots of talent in Los Angeles, man. They're still the most talented team. If they go down, it will be because of your boy, Dave Roberts.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so that's pretty much the MLB. Let's quickly talk about the NBA, man.
Yep.
That NBA contract for the TV rights. That, I think, to me, that was one of the most interesting NBA stories of the season, was seeing what's going to happen with their rights.
Yeah, big news there. Big money for the NBA. Cap's just going to keep skyrocketing. You're going to see these players make a lot of money per season, especially because there's only 12 or 15 men on an NBA side on an NBA team, Boris. But yeah, man, it was really cool to see the Olympics, to see all the best players, see LeBron and Steph still, when all the best players are together, kind of like take the lead, take over. Steph Curry hitting 4 shots in a row to win the gold medal. That will go down in history forever. That is the greatest Olympic performance. It will be looked back on as such. That is going to be like in the first paragraph of the Steph Curry obituary. Like,
he pulled a Kyle Lowry with the Raptors in Game 6. Remember?
that is the most Toronto man's way to put that. I do remember, and I agree, Boris. It was a very Lowry moment of Steph Curry. No, Steph Curry, honestly, I was having this conversation the other day. I don't think you could put him lower than 5th all time. He's at worst 5th, and you'd have to talk me into not putting him higher, honestly. But okay, so Bron and Jordan 1, 2 in some order. That's for sure. Maybe Bron has passed Jordan, honestly. That's not the conversation we're having.
Doesn't matter.
That's your 1, 2. Number 3 and number 4 in some order, Bill Russell and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yep. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was he was LeBron before LeBron in a 7'2" body, and Bill Russell was the best defensive player relative to the rest of the league of all time, the best winner of all time. He's got 11 rings. He's in the top 5 no matter what.
So here's the one thing, right? I would put Larry Bird ahead of Steph Curry because Larry Bird walked so Steph Curry could run.
That's fair. Also, you're racist, even though you're a Latino man. No, I'm just kidding.
That took me a second.
Also, you're a horrible white supremacist, despite the fact that you are not white yourself. Yeah, I think Steph, just because you're right that Larry walked so Steph could run, but Steph is running, dude. Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. And what is basketball if not throwing the ball in the hoop?
But what would be that style if it wasn't for Larry Bird?
That's true. That's true. I know exactly what you're saying.
To me, that is a more interesting debate than Jordan, LeBron. Who gives a fuck? To me, it's like, who changed the game? Are these people who changed the game, kind of like they're sometimes forgotten of a little bit because no one talks about Larry fucking Bird anymore.
Not unless you're in Boston and at some kind of rally with hoods on. No, probably not. With Larry goes Magic. You must talk about them in the same breath. You have to. I would even probably have Magic maybe slightly ahead of Larry.
So that, me as a Lakers guy, the fact that I didn't even mention Magic, right? True. Magic was good, but I don't think we saw all of Magic.
Well, Larry's career ended too early too because he had major back issues.
Yeah.
But obviously, Magic retired way before the time that he should have. He didn't have the opportunity to have a LeBron or Kareem like career. Whereas Steph, I bet if you look at their games played, and I don't know this, I'm just pulling this out of my ass off the top of my head, but I bet Steph has played far more games than either at this point. And will like he's not going anywhere. Steph's going to play at least 2-3 more good years. But he's better. He's better than Kobe. He's better than Hakeem Olajuwon. He's better than Shaq, in my opinion. I'm putting Steph Curry number 5 and the best point guard of all time, 5th overall best player ever, ahead of Wilt, just by one. Wilt would be 6th.
Yep. So, like I mentioned, the TV rights deal, 11 years, Disney, NBC, and Amazon. After Warner Brothers Discovery shat the bed and put up the 11th hour deal.
Yeah, but the NBA's gain and WBD's loss is Tony Khan's gain. That's going to work out well for AEW.
We'll see.
Think.
Look, WB Discovery is a lot worse off than people think. People can say they've made X amount of dollars. This is a $10 billion loss that they've had over the past year. So
it's not what you want. That is not what you want. They might be ripe for the picking, young Boris. It's also good for hockey, though, theoretically, right? But we'll see how that all plays out.
Right? Well, exactly, right? But to me, the most interesting part here is the whole Amazon Prime, right? Like, I'm telling you, this whole streaming thing, it's getting scarier and scarier and scarier. Like, we're seeing we're literally seeing the beginning of the end for a lot of cable TV, unfortunately.
I think we're seeing the middle of the end. Like the beginning of the end was a few years ago, but yeah, it's like becoming Armageddon is soon upon us here. It sucks. I never have Amazon Prime. I'll get like a month, a year of it, and I never use the video service, and I don't shop that much. So
yeah. It's unfortunate, right? But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here in Canada. Hopefully the Canadian companies can keep it going. I believe that, Rogers and Bell still split those rights deals. Who knows? I know that, Bell is saving the pennies for when the NHL contract is up, which I think is up, in a year or two?
I actually don't know the date on that, but yeah, it's got to be coming soon.
Yeah, it's coming soon. Well, it's coming soon. But yeah, man, let's see. When did they sign this bullshit? They signed this bullshit way back in, I don't even know. Doesn't matter. I don't know. We'll see. When was this?
Well, we've seen that. It will be interesting to see. I don't know. They push basketball to streaming. It's still going to be very easy to pirate it. I think it seems like it has been pretty easy-ish to pirate live sports if you really wanted to. So for those people who are so inclined, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right?
For those people who are so inclined, I think it's
Yeah, it's getting harder. It's getting harder to watch for some, unfortunately, right? We'll see what happens. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in the next few years, right? And again, WWE setting the precedence for the streaming deals.
Absolutely. And I think that's a wise move for WWE. Obviously they got a shitload of money. It's not a stupid move. You know what I mean? But no, they always are kind of on the cutting edge of technological advancements and stuff. And not that streaming is cutting edge in 2024, but live sports products going there and making it their home is cutting edge. And WWE is always on the brink of something good like that. So that makes total sense. I think there's been a lot of speculation that there's going to be swearing and boobies and stuff. Dominic Mysterio is making some funny sound clips out there about how he expects the non-PG Netflix era to go. So it's a good time to be a wrestling fan in that regard. But I don't know, what's Netflix these days? Like $6, and that's the tier with ads.
Yeah, something like that.
It's not bad.
It's not. It could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Anything else you want to talk about while we're talking about the NBA?
We talked some Olympics. Long live Nikola Jokic. Almost pulled off one of the great upsets in the history of all professional sports. If Serbia with Jokic and Bogdanovic and no one else would have beaten the States en route to the gold medal. Yeah, it was a fun Olympics. Want to do a tight 45 on Raygun?
Oh fuck! We can do a whole podcast series on Raygun. The myth, the legend, the Raygun.
There will be. I'm sure there will be a Raygun documentary fairly soon. But yeah, no, that was hilarious. I was actually watching the breakdancing live when we saw Raygun fucking just dying laughing at that. But yeah, it was a good Olympics. It's been a good summer. There was Euros, 16-year-old Spanish kid just running show. There was Copa America, your boys, Boris.
Yep. The drone fighters. Yep.
Yeah, yes, that's them.
We'll see what happens there. Yeah, tons to talk about. We're going to be talking a lot about that. Even the F1 season. I was talking with Dan Lavransky, the mouth, and we're both really enjoying this F1 season. I think we're going to try to do a F1 breakdown closer to the end of the season, which is coming up a lot sooner than people think. It's in just like a month or two. So we're going to be doing some chatting about some of that. Yeah, Euro soccer is up and running. The Premiership started last year. Portuguese league started the week before. So we're going to be talking about that with a lot of stuff. And that's something that actually Phil and I might do a soccer show. We're not 100% sure exactly what, but we'll see. But we're going to be talking everything here as we always motherfucking do. What haven't we talked about?
Man.
I guess NFL.
Yeah, NFL next week. We're doing the big ol' NFL preview. Tradition here at BAM, do the season preview of all 4 major sports. So yeah, we're going to be talking NFL, give you a sentence or two on every single team, rank them 1 through 16 in the conference, playoffs, awards, so
Have
forth.
You seen what Mike McDaniels looks like nowadays? He looks like a Miami crack dealer now.
It's awesome. He went from Grand Theft Auto 3 to Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I love it, Boris. He definitely's got that Miami chic going. He looks like he spent a lot of time in the sun, just banging hooers like a young Frank Reynolds.
Dude, honestly, he is the Dolphins could suck, and I will still support this kid.
Mike McDaniel is the best. Yeah, he is my coach. I definitely want to see them win a Super Bowl. But yeah, no, he's just a funny, down to earth guy. He is what Tony Khan wants to be. He is what Tony Khan aspires to be. That is Mike McDaniel.
100%. That's exactly how it is for him. But yeah, Mike McDaniel's our captain.
Did you see that the top 100 voted on by the NFL players? Every year, the NFL players vote for the top 100 players in the NFL. Did you see who was number 1 this year?
No.
Tyreek Hill, Miami Dolphins wide receiver, as voted on by the players, the best player in football.
The first number 1, the players don't. Yeah. Anyways.
Those lists, a lot of people say those lists get worse every year. But I mean, who are we to argue, Boris? Who are we to argue?
The court of law could.
the Dover court of law. By God.
That's going to be a segment somewhere.
I love it. So yeah, man, that's that. We're just rambling now, but that's good. It's good to talk to you, buddy. I missed chatting with you. It'll be a little more structured next week as we head on down to the NFL preview. The NFL season starts September 5th. Our next podcast is going to be the 28th or 29th, probably 28th. Wednesday, we will drop that thing. NFL preview heading into the next football season. And baseball playoffs are coming up in a month. We'll be talking about those. The wide net, the wide world of sports here, and we'll specialize down the road, I'm sure.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're going to be doing here on BAM. I think, Matt, this is a perfect way to, do our thing, call it a day. I think, we can relax, be a little tranquilo, raise up your legs, watch some Sopranos, have a beer, have whatever you want, and call it a day. But as always, Matt, it's been a pleasure, and it's going to be a pleasure continuing this whatever the fuck this is, this venture with you. And we're going to take it from there. Just remember, A+ Productions is your new home for all things sports, entertainment, and wrestling. You could search for A+ Sports, A+ Entertainment, and A+ Wrestling on your podcasting app of choice. A+ Productions is going to be aplusproductions.com is going to be the website. It's going to be launching maybe even by the time that this drops. We're so close to having that ready, and that's where you'll get all the information, all the feeds, and all the good stuff, if you knows what I mean. The wrestling show officially will be starting next weekend, but this weekend we're going to be having a special Bangers and Mash 2.
Oh yeah,
That's the all-in pre-show. What do we call it? The Big Banger Theory?
Yes, some nonsense like that, I believe, yes. Yeah, AEW's big show of the year, AEW WrestleMania, basically, is Sunday, August 25th. Boris and I will be on the YouTube, perhaps just on the podcast form, drinking morning beers, previewing the show. It will be a lot of fun. I think we might be going to Poison Rana's event. Go say hi to the lad friends of the show, Poison Rana, after that thing. AEW All-In, Bangers and Mash 2. This time it's bangier. Or something like that.
Something like that. We got to think of the same gimmick for Bash in Berlin, because we'll probably do the same for Bash in Berlin. The bashier, the better. Or 99 balloons. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. 99 Luft balloons. I love it. I was going to go way more blue with that, Boris. Well done.
I know you were. That's why I kind of jumped in and didn't let you talk. We are Boris and Matt. This has been Boris and Matt Weekly, where we chat all things sports here on A Plus Productions. I don't even have a spiel yet for our shows.
Same. Yeah, I was just gonna end with a classic. In the words of Dante Silvio, "Gabagool over here."
Take care.